Welcome to Spring Creek Acres Day in the Life edition. I've watched many a vlog where they've started it with, oh, here's our garden bed, it's all done. But you never get to see just how much work it is to make the bed. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to work on this garden bed. And unfortunately, I didn't think of this right off the bat. The video started at just about 10 o'clock, and you missed me parking this tree right here. I'll mark it with a square. And me running around with the tractor using what's called a chain harrow. That's just a bunch of heavy metal with spikes. And basically it's a stronger rake. And I ran it around the bed and it loosened up all of the turf that was generated by me disking this area. And what I'm doing here is I'm using a hand rake, a large shovel. It's kind of like a snow shovel. It's called a feed shovel, but the handle is better for me. I'm filling up that wheelbarrow and I'm adding it to the ditch. Now the ditch is a utility ditch. Everyone's seen it in my other videos. I'm trying to fill it up here so I can drive back and forth with the tractor in two-wheel drive and make it a lot less precarious. So here what I've done is I've hooked the chain harrow back up and I'm running around and just kind of knocking off any extra bits and seeing if there's any large rocks there. I'm going to lift up the chain harrow and leave all that in the ditch and then park it away. So I started this task at about 8 o'clock. The video started at 10. I'm trying to prep for the delivery of 7 yards of organic, non-GMO cow poop. Yeah, that's right. All those words for composted steer manure. I've got to rake away the droppings from the parking and move some stuff around.
The barbecue will be here in 20 to 30 minutes.
It's my wife telling me that the barbecue is coming. Anyway, I went to get the two-wheel drive truck and I'm bringing in cardboard. The cardboard is actually the sublayer of this garden and it's supposed to stop the weeds. I'm doing some experiment here because there's knapweed everywhere on my property and people say I can't beat it. Here you see the barbecue being delivered. That was my deal with Kristen for moving here, is that she'd get a barbecue at least as good as the one we had in our backyard. I'll set it up at some point. Back to the cardboard. Eventually that guy will leave. And then like 10 minutes later, because this is at 40x, here comes the manure. Of course I had to give him the typical consumer, that doesn't look like 7 yards. Are you sure this is 7 yards? So annoying. Anyway, I finished laying out the cardboard and I start shoveling the compost onto it. And what I'm trying to do here is make rows into a block. And I'm thinking while I'm shoveling. But eventually the heat of the day and the sun on my neck and everything is just getting too much for me. So I have to switch it up and then I'll give it up. It's about 1 o'clock at this point and I'm figuring I should eat. So I've got a rule that if I'm going to eat, the chickens get to eat. So first I have to take care of them. Here I am moving the Franken chickens forward on their wheels, take the wheels back off, feed them. These guys go through a lot of water too, so I have to take and refill their water bucket. I have a handy 5-gallon bucket nearby. Feed the flock in their green little special net. And off I go. And just in case you thought I slacked off when I turned the camera to the chickens, nope, set that barbecue up. This is a day in the life. Can't stop. All right, so I'm running off with the tractor to get the landscape rake. That actually took 14 minutes just to find out that I couldn't actually move the manure over the cardboard without all of the cardboard moving. And considering I want to finish this experiment, I had to give that up. Now, I ran off the screen because that baseball hat was not going to cut it. Had to go back and get my tilly. Too much sun on my poor little neck. So back to shoveling. The basic idea here is I'm trying to make a square. I decided not to do the little rows that I started at the beginning with, and I'm making a square of poop and realizing that when I laid down the cardboard, I laid down a rectangle. So eventually I'm going to have to curtail some of that cardboard. Once the rain of tomorrow goes away, I'm going to go in, flatten it the rest of the way out, and actually dig little walkways in between the mounds, which I'll then fill up with wood chips. Yeah, this Day in the Life series is going to go on because I'm not going to leave you with a, oh, I just finished my garden bed video, even though most of you would like it. Not advertising this one, it's just going to be out there. Every time that you see that I've sped stuff up, it's 40x. I spent from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. working on this project, except for that 80-minute set up the barbecue time. And yeah, it takes a lot of time to do what seems like a little, but hey, in my city life, if someone had said, Shawn, you're moving 7 yards of material today, I would have laughed at them. So yeah. My wife, who was inside painting, yes, we're splitting tasks, ran out of paint and then came out and said, what are you doing? I said, can you help? And sure enough, she came out to help. She's raking and picking up that cardboard I talked about earlier, squared it up nicely, made short work of the last bit of this project. We got almost all of the manure moved, went out and found the 2 chickens that had escaped my green fence, got them inside, a little bit of cleanup, and finally at 5 o'clock we can go in and make dinner. Well, there you go. A day in the life.